woman that just crawled out of the caves and hills of Europe and walk around today with an attaché case, smelling like Pierre Cardin and smelling like Uchi and Coochie and Gucci and all that other stuff. This is a caveman. He spent 2,000 years, she spent 2,000 years in the caves and hills of Europe. I'm still talking about the goddamn white man. Spent 2,000 years in the caves and hills of where? E-U-R-O-P-E. This man, Elijah Muhammad, and this man, Louis Farrakhan, they teach us that EU means caves and hillsides. Europe, Eureka, you've heard the term. EU means caves and hillsides. Rope is self-explanatory. They were roped or bound or confined within the caves and hills of Europe for 2,000 years. And for 2,000 years, this blue-eyed devil crawled around on his all fours. He ate his meat raw. They ate each other even. They ate dogs. They ate anything. They take tree limbs and bust an animal in the head or drop a rock or a boulder on the animal and bust the animal in the head, blood everywhere, all in the mangy, diseased fur of the animal. Drag the animal back to the cave, and the little baby devils and the medium-sized devils and the mama devil and the daddy devil and the uncle devil and the auntie devil and the cousin devil and the grandma devil and the grandpa devil, all of them would then start biting on the nasty hair and fur of this dead, bloody animal lying right there in the cave. They didn't know anything about fire. Hell, when they first discovered fire, they damn near ran off the cliff. Say, gee, where's G-Manini? What is this? Really, they couldn't even talk in those days. How many of you saw the movie Quest for Fire? Hold your black hands up. If you saw Quest for Fire. In Quest for Fire, you saw but they tell you were a savage. They want you to believe that you were a savage. They walked around all in ooga booga. They're the ones that put the lie on us, but they were the ones ooga. Sign language and all kind of stuff. You could always talk. There's never been a time when you couldn't talk, black man. And we know it ain't never been a time when you couldn't talk, black woman. Sister got something to say, because she's the first teacher. The children, the babies, they learn the language from her. They don't call it the father tongue, they call it the what? Why they call it the mother tongue instead of the other tongue? They call it the mother tongue because it is mother who fills them with the spirit of life. It is mother who inspires them, giving them inspiration and information that moves them along the course of life. And so they call it the mother tongue, because the goddess is the one who breathes that life into them. Y'all still with me? We still talking about the goddamn white man.
I will never forget, I will never forgive, 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 we will never forget, we 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 will never forgive. I will never forget these demons, never forget the treason. I will never forget, nor forgive for any reasons. Crackers end up in the trunk. Now I'm reaching for my keys like I'm Thelonious Monk. Allergists hold the pumps. Boom. Grind his body to dust. Olodumare, I trust. Protect my body and such. I raise the bar like I raise my son. We hate crackers, love our people, and we blaze our guns. And I don't joke with nan cracker, I don't play with none, nor relate with one. Keep my dignity and save my funds. Befriended crackers with agendas to keep your brain twisted. Put your gender in the blender so you will not remember it. Listen, fuck religion and they superstition. That just as dumb as me believing in they crucifixion. Right authority, like the group is all as minorities, but we the only ones expecting loyalty, but they won't go to war with me. We fighting battles on demand in the hostile land. God demand we follow God's plan, but we marching for concessions. But we are not respected, and by all projections, don't expect it even coming second. Blessed be the name of the ancestors who fought for us. The devil's a lie, don't fall for it. Just remember me, cause my long-term ancestral memory never forget our enemies. Never forget our enemies. I will never forget. I will never forgive. 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 We will never forget. We 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 will never forgive. I will never forget. I 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 will never forgive. We will never forget. We 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 will never forgive.
Wartime, wartime, wartime. God has damned the devil and declared this war time. Black Power, welcome to the Khalid Muhammad Militia Hour. Khalid Muhammad Militia Hour brought to you every Warrior Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Do Knowledge Radio by our wartime General, the Black Dragon himself, the 5-star general of our great and honorable retributionary existence, named after our bold African warrior retributionary saint, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Death to his enemies, death to the infiltrators that were amongst him, that are still amongst us, that have not met their demise, death to their collaborators, death to the cowards that was amongst him that we herald today, death to those treacherous, treasonous ass, backstabbing bastards, all of them, and their associates and their lineages. We got the retributionary word that one of our retributionary warriors is liberated from further behind enemy lines. Russell Maroon Schultz, honor and revolutionary love to him, his family, and his lineage. May our Creator and our ancestors be with him and his family. So again, welcome to the Khalid Muhammad Militia Hour. I'm standing in for our 5-star general, the Black Dragon himself, General King Samir Shabazz. This is your brother, knowledgebornallah. And as I was ordered to speak on advancing the retributionary guerrilla mindset. Advancing the retributionary guerrilla mindset. So I'm going to spend a little time on that today. and lay the foundation for our general to speak about that topic next week. Don't forget to tune in this Saturday and every Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Black Survivor Inc. live from Rebel Village. So every Saturday is solely based on Survivor Inc. Every Wednesday is a retributionary, transformative orientation centered around African sovereignty in the form of retributionary psycho-spiritual realignment. So in other words, our focus for Warrior Wednesday is to speak to those retributionary warriors in a warrior fashion. So for the time as such as now, this war time, as decreed by our Creator, as called for by our ancestors. I don't know who the ancestors are. I don't know them. They can belong to anybody. Our ancestors, our Creator, the path in which we walk on, and we retribute in their honor with our lives and with our bloodshed. Not just the shedding of blood in a martyr type of fashion, in the shedding of the blood of our enemies and our transgressors. This is how we retribute. So if you are not akin or aligned with that purpose of the retribution of African people, of African women, of African men, and African children against our enemies, foreign and domestic, internal and external, there is no place for you in this African retributionary space. From a leadership perspective or from a soldiering perspective. Our ranks are armed with those who have that understanding. For those who are seeking that mission, don't waste your time. We're not recruiting. We are not actively seeking any membership. Those who make it into these ranks, as our general said, you cannot fill out any paperwork. There's no paperwork for you to fill out. There's no money for you to pay. Those who make it to these ranks have seen death up close and personal. They know death in a very friendly manner. They have survived betrayal. They have survived all types of torture and will subject themselves to torture again to enter these ranks. No one who will be admitted into these ranks will do so by their own free will, by some damn probationary period, by the amount of food drives or the amount of clothing you gave out. None of those things have any bearing here. So that's all I'll say on that. So before I begin, I'll open from reading from Inyas Sasem, the Calendar Revolutionary Daily Thoughts, Volume 2. From our Asafo, our wartime retributionary scholar, Baba Dr. Wali Kibamani Baruti. Sometimes the unlearned lead the learned and teach them courage. Teach them to die with a handsome toss of the head. I think that was a beautiful and apropos quote for today's theme of the Militia Hour. Advancing the African retributionary guerrilla mindset. Teaching courage to the one who is taking the head. As the head falls off of our enemy. Beautiful. Let's get into Bible's explanation. Especially under the dire circumstances in which we find ourselves, the current misdefinition of wisdom is surprising. The number of individuals who appear informed or knowledgeable and are applauded for their eloquence and theoretically and or conspiratorially dramatizing our condition is very puzzling in this escalating genocidal onslaught. Talk to him, Bob. Talk to him. It is as if our submission to lesser, God-vying beings and fear of their reactive, fear-driven retaliation has led most of us to crave solution-oriented inaction and believe that high intellectual states could actually exist without being directly and actively connected to an active, informed service to African people. This is not our tradition. And any individuals behaving in this way are not warriors. Good Lord, Baba. What are they if they're not warriors, Baba? They are entertainers. They are entertainers. I got to say that one more damn time. They are entertainers. Given that we are at war, or rather, that we are being warred on, there is no other credible explanation. If they were not entertainers, then we would see a product of their eloquence other than more eloquence. Whoo! If they were not entertainers, then we would see a product of their eloquence other than more eloquence. For warriors, there is no such thing as intelligence without conscious, concrete action. For warriors, there is no such thing as intelligence without conscious, concrete action. Beautiful. 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 The affirmation states, I teach courageously. The affirmation states, I teach courageously. The affirmation states, I teach courageously. Madase, Baba Madase, 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 for this word. Every time a theme is presented and I open one of these sacred texts, especially in Yasasin, Baba, I'm telling you, like we link in the spirit soul. These entertainers, So evidently, African manhood has been reduced to, according to some of these fools running around, as another monkey running around, appearing to express a desire for African life. Somehow you can represent the continuation and spread of African life without having an African wife. Somehow you can be a bold representation, and African people will stand with you. They will applaud you. They will make memes and say they stand with your treasonous. They can stand with your treasonous monkey ass. You can be an affirmer to African life without an African wife, evidently. And I can tell you, there is no way in fucking hell, under no circumstances whatsoever, that you can affirm African life without an African wife. No way. No way. But y'all can let a monkey get on the stage, a little chimp, get on the stage and talk chimply against the genocidal war against African people. And our enemies come for him, and y'all defend him. You can run from the ones who love you, that will kill for you, that will die for you. You can run from us. You can denounce us. You can call us disgrace in the public and stand with a monkey in a minstrel show. You can stand with a monkey in a minstrel show. That is treasonous. That is treacherous in word and in deed. And you can run from those who run to you, those who have never denied you, those who have never dishonored you. You can run from us and run to these monkeys with their monkey antics. That monkey can call you nigger and you defend him. Bible said they are entertainers. Malcolm told you what an entertainer is worth. How did you now not see the game? How then can you not see the double talk? How then could you not see the monkey with no African wife on tour with one of those its. But he's supposed to have spoke truth to power about them its. But them its was with him on tour. One of them its was opening up for him on tour. But we'll roll with anything other than the truth. Evidently, one monkey does stop the show. I remember that adage, one monkey don't stop the show. The show must go on. No, but one monkey can stop the show. Treason is inhumane. Treason reduces you to a lesser life form than human. Monkey is even too great a word for race treason. There's some other words. I'm not going to deal with that. In the pursuit of fostering an African retributionary guerrilla mindset, then you must be clear. You must be clear. Clarity is a key factor to success on the battlefield. And since we're being warred upon, as Baba states, our enemies are very clear about the devastation and destruction that is imposed upon us at home and abroad. So clear that they can give you a monkey and the show stops on behalf of this monkey. They can give you a monkey and put him in a little red, black, and green costume and have him espouse monkey shit on the biggest stages in the world. And we will defend it. We will defend the monkey who did not see fit to marry and reproduce with someone who looked like his mama, someone who looked like his daddy, someone who could make jokes and disrespect us, and still get us to defend him against our enemy. With a smile on his face. Russell Moon Schultz's home. What did he come home to? What was the price for his sacrifice? We love a monkey. We loathe a freedom fighter. We will stand with a monkey, but we won't stand with Mumia. We will publicly stand with monkeys, We will publicly stand with the Judases. We will publicly stand with the traitors and whisper in private about our freedom fighters. We'll whisper about Dr. Matula Shakur and stand with a monkey on the internet. We'll whisper about H. Rap Brown, Imam Jabal Alameen. We'll whisper about him. And blab as loud as we possibly can about these male and female monkeys that they put in front of us. Get into heated debates. Psychologically damaging debates with one another about these damn monkeys. These monkeys, these race traders, these scammers, these pedophiles, these monkeys who are openly advocating for us to leave black women and start dealing with black men. We'll have conversations, splintering, divisive conversations back and forth about some kind of right perspective. Some kind of right perspective. Truth mixed with falsehood is called tricknology. Truth mixed with falsehood is called tricknology. And we're dealing with the tricknology of our enemy through its advocates. These monkeys, these talking monkeys, have galvanized the hearts and minds of African people virtually. Have monopolized through artful and strategic brand positioning, artful and strategic psycho-spiritual warfare. And will have the wise one advocating for the fool. Can the devil fool a Muslim? They say, no, not nowadays. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Fooled again and again. The tricknology of our enemy through its advocates. Our adversary uses its advocates against us to further cause a menticidal and fratricidal war between us. How do you have a people without a black man, black woman, and black child? How do you have a people? How do you have a family? How do you have a household? How do you have a community? How do you have a nation state? How do you have a nation? How do you have a people without those critical components? Our adversary uses its advocates to advocate against a natural inclination amongst our people to want to be together and to continue to affirm African life in our words and our deeds. These traditions are rooted in that understanding. The retributionary's existence exists when that space is encroached upon, when that space is violated. To retribute the transgressions that was placed upon us by our enemy. The destruction and devastation of the African family. The retributionary is into being for the express purpose of the devastation of the terrorist who has terrorized his or her people. So those who are responsible for the death and devastation of African people retribution has come, is coming, and will continue to come for them and their descendants until the debt is paid. So, further fostering the African retributionary mindset is one that operates in a guerrilla fashion, a guerrilla studies, a guerrilla studies, a guerrilla studies their capabilities, their strengths, and their weaknesses, the capabilities, strengths, and weaknesses of our enemies. Studies, surveils, collects data, collects information, collects intel, studies, analyzes, interprets the data that is collected, the intel that is collected from the surveillance, from the reconnaissance, from the infiltration of our enemies. What data have you collected? What studying have you done? Do you know your strengths as well as your weaknesses? Or do we spend our time mouth pooling about what we don't have or who we not and what won't happen in whose lifetime? And then call that being real. I'm just being real. I'm just being honest. You're being a real coward. You're being an honest coward. You're being a real turncoat. You're being an honest turncoat. You come from those who retribute. Retribution, our retributionary ancestor, Jonathan Jackson, peace and blessings be upon him and his family, conducted surveillance. Conducted surveillance. He knew the capabilities of himself, the strengths and the weaknesses, and the capabilities of our enemies, the strengths and the weaknesses. Conducting surveillance, conducting reconnaissance. I always hear people talking about my blood, the blood in my eyes, like my Bible. That's my revolutionary Bible. It's a must read, but I don't hear anybody getting into the intricacies. Because you can read a book without context and don't understand a fucking thing in there, but you'll quote everything in the book. Or you hold it up to sound unalike or to sound deep. This strategy that is laid out in this sacred text with the right mind frame is in the quintessential space of an African retributionary. I said retributionaries, they study. I didn't say they read. I said they study. Got a lot of readers out here. You read that dog shit on your timeline. You read that and internalize that. You don't study the data mining that's going on. You don't understand the psychological mind mapping that's going on. You don't understand the intelligence that's being gathered on you that you offer up freely. Because we talked about revolutionary insanity. You got to tell the devil every fucking thing you're doing, everything you're thinking, everything you're eating, every place you're going. You have to report in. You have to report in. You have to check in. You going somewhere, you check in. You get there, you check in. Who you with, you check in. You tell them everything. You tell them everything you do. Everything you think, everything you don't think, everything you do, everything you ain't going to do. You show them pictures of everything and everyone in your life that you love. And they can kill them. And you won't do a fucking thing about it. The hunt is on, and you're the prey. Whew. Try to get the picture. Now, every cruise street, they cruise just a few moments apart at most. Jonathan's painting a picture of the tactical patrol strategy that the mobilization occupying force in the community, how they operate. How they operate. You can't counter terrorism without understanding the intricacies of its parts. Mounted patrol is the tactical term. They park tactically, they scan tactically, and they move in military tactical convoy manner. They have a sector that they are assigned to patrol. Mounted or dismounted. Mounted means in a vehicle. Dismounted means on foot. They have a sector that they patrol. It's an assigned sector. They have a command center that directs where everyone is to go. They tactically respond when called upon outside of their sector of control. Jonathan was performing field experiments in his community tactically with precision. Do you know how to spot a marked car versus an unmarked car? Do you know the difference between the local police, the sheriff's department, and the state patrol? They know who you are. And you make it very easy for them because you tell them every fucking thing. You tell them everything. So cultivating this African retributionary guerrilla mindset predicated on what you study, how you study, the information that you receive, your tactical knowledge. Everything ain't in a book. You can't read every fucking thing. Reading may give you a baseline and get you started. But there's some things that you have to do. There's some places that you have to be. There's some elements that you have to learn how to maneuver in. So this is why we learn and orient our mind and our psychology, our physical and mental being around survival. This is why our general has focused his time and his energy cultivating survival techniques and practical skills that you can implement indiscriminate to the environment that you're in, whether you're bugging out or whether you're bugging in, whether you're in the woods or you in the hood, whether you're in the desert, whether you're in the Arctic, whether you're in the mountains, equip you with the practical know-how to survive natural disasters and to survive man-made disasters, because both are coming. Both have came already. Both will continue to come. So this guerrilla mindset of retribution is what's being cultivated. So there's more I wanted to get into, but that's an hour right here. That's our hour. So tune in next week and our general will return and we'll delve a little more deeper into this degree. It's Khalid Muhammad Militia Hour. Your study groups, your tactical training groups. There's guidelines for that. How many should gather? What should we learn? So from a topical vantage point, I'll share with you a couple of things that I've done. One of the first things that everyone in your group or everyone in your family should learn how to do, if you don't know already, is first aid. Everyone. First aid. Everyone. CPR, splinter fracture, stopping the bleeding, shock, seizure, everybody. Basic first aid. Basic first aid. And as a community, those groups of people that come together, they should learn advanced first aid from some people in their community that have those skills to teach them. Every child to every adult should learn first aid, basic and advanced. First aid. First aid and self-defense is number 2. These aren't negotiable. These aren't negotiable. Self-aid. First aid, self-defense. Self-defense, the martial arts, martial science, training and conditioning, firearm safety, weapon safety. This list. Everyone in the family, everyone in your training group should know a different martial art. And everybody should be able to cross-train each other. So in a guerrilla situation, you are tactically trained and you know how to deal with casualties. So those 2 things I'm gonna leave. And then next week we'll deal in this degree from another angle. So if I see the ticker going across the screen, you can make a contribution to the Khalid Muhammad Militia, Black Survivor Inc., Rebel Village, through here. See the Cash App. But we would much rather see you, your family, your loved ones on site at one of the Rebel Village locations getting tactically trained. If you don't have the skills, but you have the means, get together Put your little funds together and come get tactically trained. If you don't have those skills, come to somebody who has those skills. Come to a place where this is the epicenter of the training, where someone can tactically teach you how to apply these skills. We're dealing with skills acquisition and practical application. So get with Survivor.Inc. Get into these tactical situations, get into your tactical groups, and begin to train while you still can. So we'll see y'all next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Do the Knowledge Radio. Khalid Muhammad Militia Hour, and every retributionary Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Black Survivor.Inc. live from Rebel Village, right here on Do Knowledge Radio. So, in the words of our general, we love you more than you hate your black ass self. Wartime.
Who is the original man? The black man is the original man.
Who is the original man? The original man is the Asiatic black man. The maker, the owner, cream of the planet Earth. Father of civilization and God of the universe. You know? So I'm so glad I'm black. God bless my life. I'm so glad I'm black. Matter of fact, pants sag with my hat on backwards. As a youth, always knew I would master this rap shit, but the impact it would have, I could hardly imagine. In a remote place on Easter Island, there's somebody playing 36 chambers screaming Shaolin. See, we influence the entire planet. That's 6 sextillion tons, name a higher standard. Nah, direct descendants of Almighty God. That's why we always stunting hard in designer cloth. Whether we conscious or unconscious, the odd shit is we always be manifesting some God shit. So it's no wonder we the most hated. When we originated, everything great and they try to imitate it. All of the lies get obliterated. I feel invigorated, slaying these devils hard to articulate it.
God can't be black, thanks for that. I'm a original man. God bless your life. God can't be black, thanks for that. I'm a original man. God bless your life. God can't be black, thanks for that. I'm a original man. God bless your life. God can't be black, thanks for that. I'm a original man. God bless your life.
Even out of the mud, we still shining like a diamond. Got people copying us. See, it's obvious to us, they'll never make the game fair, cause we be washing them up. And I ain't talking sports and entertainment, that goes for any field of human endeavor. We ain't nothing to play with. We been had our mathematics up, just trying to shine some light on the world. We on our Lewis Latimer. They write the history and scratch us off it, but the only thing they ever invented was the patent office. So they insert themselves inside the culture. Just a bunch of DJ Vlads, basically that's a culture vulture. Collective self-esteem is critical. The way we seek acceptance from other people is kind of pitiful, cause black America's the pinnacle. We the foundation, birth of a nation, indivisible.
God can't be black, thanks for that. I'm a original man. God bless your life. God can't be black, thanks for that. I'm a original man. God bless your life. God can't be black, thanks for that. I'm a original man. God bless your life. God can't be black, thanks for that. I'm a original man. God bless your life.